The email wasn't supposed to go to him. But as Marcus Winters stared at his screen, reading the heartfelt Christmas wish from the normally composed CEO of Horizon Enterprises, he felt something shift inside him. "I just want someone who sees me, not my title, not my achievements, just me," she had written, thinking she was sending it to the company's anonymous holiday wish exchange. Instead, it had landed in the inbox of the quiet single father who worked in IT. What happened next would change both their lives forever. If you're enjoying this story, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming content that will touch your soul. Your support means everything to us. Emma Sullivan prided herself on control. As CEO of Horizon Enterprises, control was her currency, her shield, her constant companion. At 36, she had climbed to the pinnacle of corporate success, transforming a struggling tech company into a Fortune 500 powerhouse in just 7 years. Her office on the top floor of the gleaming Horizon Tower offered a panoramic view of Chicago's skyline, a daily reminder of how far she had come from the small-town girl with big dreams. But on this particular December evening, as snow fell softly outside her floor-to-ceiling windows, Emma felt none of the satisfaction her accomplishments should have brought. The office Christmas party was in full swing 20 floors below, but she had excused herself after making the obligatory appearance. Her employees would be exchanging their secret Santa gifts now, laughing and celebrating the season together. Emma sighed, turning away from the window to face her immaculate desk. Her assistant had placed the company-wide Christmas wish exchange form on top of her other paperwork, with a gentle reminder that submissions were due tonight. The initiative was part of Horizon's holiday tradition. Employees submitted anonymous wishes, and the company fulfilled what it could while matching others with community resources. She should have delegated this task, but something had compelled her to participate this year. Perhaps it was the growing emptiness that seemed to expand inside her chest with each passing day, or maybe it was the memory of her mother's voice, "Christmas is for honesty, Emma. It's when we admit what we truly need." Emma sat down and pulled the keyboard toward her. The form was simple: name, department, and wish. She began typing her name, then paused. The anonymity option beckoned. On impulse, she checked the box marked, "Keep my identity confidential." Then, her fingers hovered over the keyboard as she contemplated what to write. What did she wish for? A new vacation home? She already had 3 properties she rarely visited. A luxury car? Her garage held vehicles she seldom drove. Professional achievements? Her resume was impeccable. The cursor blinked patiently, waiting. Outside, the snow fell harder, blanketing the city in pristine white. Emma felt something crack inside her, a hairline fracture in the perfect facade she had maintained for so long. She began to type, her fingers moving almost of their own accord. "I wish for someone who sees me, not my title, not my achievements, just me. Someone who would still want me if all of this disappeared tomorrow. Someone who understands that success feels hollow when you have no one to share it with. I wish to feel something real again." Emma stared at the words, shocked by her own vulnerability. She should delete this immediately. It was unprofessional, too personal. Yet, she couldn't bring herself to erase the truth that had poured out of her. With a deep breath, she clicked submit before she could change her mind, assuming the system would route it to HR for the anonymous wish pool. What Emma didn't know was that the company's email system had been experiencing glitches all week. Marcus Winters, the head of IT, had been working overtime to resolve the issues, staying late even tonight despite the Christmas party happening downstairs. As a single father to 8-year-old Lily, he needed this job and the flexibility it offered, which meant fixing problems before they became crises. When Emma's email appeared in his inbox instead of the HR department's wish exchange folder, Marcus initially thought it was just another system error to correct. Then he read the words, and something about their raw honesty stopped him from simply forwarding the message. The system had tagged the sender as anonymous, but as head of IT, Marcus could see it had come from the CEO's computer. He had never had much interaction with Emma Sullivan. Their worlds rarely intersected, she in the executive suite, he in the basement offices of the IT department. When they did cross paths, she was unfailingly professional but distant, the kind of boss who knew your name but nothing about your life. Marcus leaned back in his chair, running a hand through his dark hair, now flecked with premature gray at 38. He shouldn't have read the message. It wasn't meant for him. Yet he couldn't forget the words or the loneliness they conveyed, a loneliness he understood all too well since losing his wife to cancer 3 years ago. His phone buzzed with a text from Mrs. Abernathy, his elderly neighbor who watched Lily when he worked late. "Lily's asking when you'll be home. She wants to hang the last ornament with you." Marcus glanced at the time, 9:30 p.m. He had promised Lily they would finish decorating their small Christmas tree together. Since Claire died, he had tried to make every Christmas special for his daughter, even when his own heart wasn't in it. "Heading home now," he texted back. He shut down his computer but couldn't shut down his thoughts about the email. Something about those honest words from someone who seemed to have everything but actually felt she had nothing that mattered, it resonated with him in a way he hadn't expected. As Marcus gathered his coat and scarf, he made a decision that would alter the course of his life, though he didn't know it yet. Instead of letting the system error go unreported, he would personally ensure the CEO's wish was properly entered into the exchange. It was the right thing to do. At least, that's what he told himself as he headed out into the snowy Chicago night. The next morning, Emma arrived at her office earlier than usual. Sleep had eluded her, her mind replaying the moment of weakness when she had submitted that embarrassingly honest wish. She needed to find a way to retract it before anyone saw it. Her assistant, Vanessa, was already at her desk, organizing the day's schedule with her usual efficiency. "Good morning, Ms. Sullivan. The quarterly reports are on your desk, and I've moved your 10 a.m. to 11 to give you time to review them. Also, there's someone from IT waiting to see you, a Mr. Winters. He says it's urgent." Emma frowned. IT issues were rarely brought directly to her. "What's it regarding?" He wouldn't say, just that it was a sensitive matter that required your personal attention. Curious and slightly concerned, Emma nodded. "Send him in, please." Moments later, Marcus Winters entered her office. Emma had seen him around the building but had never had a conversation with him beyond basic greetings. He was tall with broad shoulders that his simple button-down shirt and slacks couldn't quite downplay. His face was handsome in an understated way, with kind eyes that held a depth of experience beyond his years. "Mr. Winters," Emma said, maintaining her professional demeanor despite her curiosity. "What can I do for you this morning?" Marcus closed the door behind him, his expression serious. "Ms. Sullivan, I'm here about an email you sent last night." Emma felt her stomach drop. "An email?" He nodded, his voice lowering. "Your Christmas wish. There was a system error, and instead of going to the HR department's anonymous pool, it was delivered to my inbox." The blood drained from Emma's face. Of all the embarrassing scenarios she had imagined, this hadn't been one of them. Her most private thoughts, read by an employee she barely knew. "I see," she said, fighting to keep her voice steady. "Thank you for bringing this to my attention. I'll speak with HR about improving the security of the wish exchange system." Marcus shifted his weight, clearly uncomfortable. "That's not why I'm here, Ms. Sullivan. I wanted to tell you that I've corrected the routing error, and your wish has been properly entered into the anonymous pool. No one will know it came from you." Relief washed over Emma, followed quickly by embarrassment. "Thank you, Mr. Winters. I appreciate your discretion." He should have left then. The matter was resolved. But something kept Marcus rooted to the spot, a question forming on his lips before he could stop it. "Did you mean it?" he asked softly. "What you wrote?" Emma stared at him, caught off guard by the directness of his question. In anyone else, she would have considered it insubordination. But there was no challenge in his eyes, only genuine concern. "That's a rather personal question, Mr. Winters," she replied, her defenses rising. "You're right. I apologize." He turned to leave, then paused at the door. It was a beautiful wish. And a brave one." Before Emma could respond, he was gone, leaving her staring at the closed door, unsettled by the encounter and the strange feeling that someone had seen past her carefully constructed facade for the first time in years. Marcus returned to his office in the basement, mentally kicking himself. What had he been thinking, asking the CEO such a personal question? He could lose his job for that kind of boundary crossing. And yet, he couldn't regret it entirely. The look on Emma Sullivan's face, surprise followed by vulnerability quickly masked by professional distance, had confirmed what he suspected. The wish had been genuine. He settled at his desk, trying to focus on the day's tasks, but his mind kept returning to those words, "I wish for someone who sees me, not my title, not my achievements, just me." His phone rang, interrupting his thoughts. It was Lily's school. "Mr. Winters? This is Mrs. Peterson from Lakeside Elementary. Lily had a bit of an incident during the Christmas pageant rehearsal. She's okay, but she became very upset when the other children were talking about what their mothers were making for the holiday bake sale." Marcus closed his eyes, his heart aching for his daughter. "I'll be right there." 30 minutes later, he sat in a small chair in the school counselor's office, Lily curled against his side, her small face streaked with dried tears. "I told them you make the best cookies," she whispered. "But Maddie said it's not the same because you're not a mom." Marcus stroked his daughter's dark hair, so like her mother's. "Maddie doesn't know what she's talking about. Our cookies are the best because we make them together." Lily nodded, but the sadness didn't leave her eyes. "Can we still go to the company Christmas party on Saturday? You said there would be other kids." The annual Horizon family Christmas party. Marcus had almost forgotten. Each year, the company hosted a separate event for employees and their families, complete with a Santa, gifts for the children, and holiday activities. "Of course we can, Lillipad. It'll be fun." As he drove Lily back home, having decided she needed an afternoon off from school, Marcus found himself thinking about Emma Sullivan again. Would she be at the family party? Probably not. Executives usually made brief appearances at such events before moving on to more important engagements. What he didn't know was that Emma had been staring at the invitation to the family Christmas party on her desk all morning, contemplating whether to attend for more than the obligatory 15 minutes this year. Something about her encounter with Marcus Winters had left her feeling restless, questioning the walls she had built around herself. Saturday arrived with perfect Christmas weather, light snow falling from a pearl gray sky, just enough to make everything look magical without impeding travel. The Horizon atrium had been transformed into a winter wonderland, with towering Christmas trees, twinkling lights, and activity stations for children scattered throughout the space. Marcus arrived with Lily, who was wearing her favorite red dress with white tights and the small pearl earrings that had been her mother's. Her excitement was contagious, her earlier sadness forgotten in the face of such festive splendor. "Dad, look! They have a cookie decorating station." Lily tugged at his hand, pulling him toward a table covered in gingerbread cookies, colorful icing, and sprinkles. "Slow down, Lillipad," Marcus laughed, allowing himself to be led through the crowd. Across the atrium, Emma Sullivan entered quietly, without the usual fanfare that accompanied her appearances at company events. She had deliberately dressed down in jeans, a soft green sweater, and boots, as far from her power suits as her wardrobe allowed. Her blonde hair, usually pulled back in a sleek bun, fell in loose waves around her shoulders. She had come with no agenda other than to experience the event as a person rather than a CEO. The encounter with Marcus Winters had affected her more than she cared to admit, making her question the isolation she had accepted as the price of success. Emma moved through the crowd, smiling and chatting briefly with employees who recognized her despite her casual appearance. She accepted a cup of hot chocolate from a refreshment table and found herself drawn to the children's activities, watching the joy on their faces with a wistfulness she rarely allowed herself to feel. At the cookie decorating station, Lily was creating a masterpiece, her small tongue poking out in concentration as she applied green icing to a gingerbread star. Marcus stood behind her, offering encouragement and occasionally steadying her hand when the icing bag proved too unwieldy. "That's beautiful, Lily," he said, admiring her work. "Your mom would say you got her artistic talent." Lily beamed at the compliment, then frowned slightly as she reached for the red sprinkles just beyond her grasp. A hand appeared, pushing the container closer. "These what you need?" a gentle voice asked. Lily looked up to find Emma smiling down at her. "Thank you. I'm making a Christmas star." "It's gorgeous," Emma said sincerely. "You have quite an eye for design." Marcus looked up, startled to find the CEO of Horizon Enterprises standing at their table, dressed so casually he almost didn't recognize her. "Ms. Sullivan," he said, straightening. "I didn't expect to see you here." Emma's smile faltered slightly at his formal tone. "Please, call me Emma. We're not in the office." She gestured to the empty chair beside Lily. "May I join you? The cookie decorating looks like fun." Lily nodded enthusiastically before Marcus could respond. "Yes. You can help me make one for my dad. He loves cookies but he's terrible at decorating them." "Lily," Marcus admonished gently, but Emma laughed, a genuine sound that transformed her face. "I'd be honored to help," she said, sitting down and selecting a gingerbread man. "Though I should warn you, I haven't decorated a cookie since I was about your age." "That's okay," Lily said seriously. "I can teach you." And so, in the most unexpected of scenarios, the CEO of Horizon Enterprises found herself being instructed in the fine art of cookie decoration by an 8-year-old, while the head of IT watched with a mixture of amusement and bewilderment. As Lily concentrated on showing Emma the proper icing technique, Marcus studied the woman beside his daughter. Without her power suit and professional demeanor, Emma Sullivan was different, softer, more approachable, with a smile that reached her eyes and a laugh that seemed to surprise even her. This was the woman behind the wish, he realized. The one who wanted to be seen for herself. "So, Lily," Emma said as they worked, "what do you want for Christmas this year?" Lily's hands stilled, and she glanced quickly at her father before answering. "I asked Santa for a mom," she said quietly. "But Dad says Santa can't bring people, only things." Marcus felt his face flush with embarrassment. "Lily, that's not something we should." "It's okay," Emma interrupted gently. "That's a very special wish, Lily. Your dad is right that Santa can't bring people as presents, but sometimes Christmas magic works in mysterious ways to bring people together." Lily considered this, her small face serious. "That's what Dad said too. He said we have to be patient and keep our hearts open." Emma's eyes met Marcus's over Lily's head, something unspoken passing between them. "Your dad sounds very wise," she said softly. The moment was interrupted by the announcement that Santa had arrived. Children squealed with excitement, abandoning their activities to rush toward the large throne set up near the main Christmas tree. "Can I go see Santa, Dad?" Lily asked, already sliding off her chair. "Of course," Marcus said. "But don't wander off afterward. Come right back here." As Lily joined the line of children, Marcus found himself alone with Emma, an awkward silence falling between them. "She's wonderful," Emma said finally. "You've done an amazing job with her." Marcus smiled, his eyes following his daughter. "She makes it easy. She's so much like her mother, strong, kind, sees the best in everyone." "Her mother?" Emma hesitated. "Is she?" "Claire passed away 3 years ago. Cancer." The words were easier to say now, though the pain never truly disappeared. "I'm so sorry," Emma said, and Marcus could tell she meant it. That must be incredibly difficult for both of you. Marcus nodded, then decided to